Well, this is pretty wild. So Pakistan just released what they say is intercepted audio from inside the cockpit of an Indian aircraft that they shot down the other night, specifically a Rafale call sign Godzilla. Let's go ahead and give that a listen.
From a Rafale formation that I will share, the call sign is Godzilla. As soon as those animals are extinct, so this one also got extinct. Please play. So he's asking whereabouts of his formation member. So the formation knows, his leader knows that his number, one of his flight member is not there. They have an RT. This is the original RT that they are exchanging, and they're asking about his position. He's giving his own operations as fine, but he claims that I've seen an explosion in the air. And I will share this detail. It's a long RT that we have. If we can hear one RT of one formation member, we can.
So that's pretty crazy to actually have that level of detail. But I do want to say that the level of mis and disinformation coming out of this conflict already has been mind-boggling. I mean, we had an AI-generated video of President Trump talking about how India would be justified in erasing Pakistan off the map. We've had AI-adjusted videos, doctored videos of Pakistani military officials confirming things that they never said. So it's a mess, to say the least. But I thought, in turn, it would be worthwhile to go directly to the source and pull some videos from websites, and accounts directly affiliated with Pakistan and India to kind of give a version of how both sides are saying this conflict is playing out. And the gentleman that was just talking there is the Deputy Chief of Air Operations for the Pakistani Air Force, and he goes on to continue in that presentation, talking about exactly how the Pakistani Air Force has adjusted course to shoot down Indian aircraft just the other day. Let's give that a listen.
We changed our rules of the game in the air. These are the locations with the range bearing, electronic ID that we think that we are sure that we have shot. A MiG-29 was shot 8 miles from LOC, bearing 243, 20 nautical miles from Srinagar. A Su-30 was shot 192, 19 miles. 25 miles from LOC. We have the exact details. You have an electronic ID. The aircraft gets picked up by his data link. As soon as you put on your radar, you show yourself. And nobody can hide, nobody can deny that. A Rafale was shot 54 miles from LOC in Srinagar. So you can have all these details.
So I just want to say the number and type of aircraft that Pakistan says they shot down has remained consistent for a couple days now. They haven't added to or removed anything from that list. We have seen kind of a mixed bag of evidence. And I know what I'll see here is people saying, well, where's the proof? Where is the footage of the aircraft that has been shot down? But if you look at the map that the general had up there on the screen, he's saying that every one of these interceptions took place in Indian airspace. And that's consistent with some other reporting that we've seen, saying that neither side pushed manned aircraft across the border out of the concern that one of them could be intercepted, the pilot captured and paraded as a type of propaganda win. So if the aircraft was shot down, in this case, assuming Indian aircraft was shot down inside of Indian territory, Pakistan is not going to be able to get on site to recover any of that debris to show the evidence. We're relying on India to show that evidence, which, look, right now it's been difficult to get clear information out of this conflict. We have earlier today a Pakistani government account shared video game footage, which is not great. And then we've got the Indian government allegedly asking X or Twitter to suppress a bunch of accounts inside of Pakistan, inside of India, and some of them are what I would say are very reliable, honest sources over the years. So anyways, the information space continues to be pretty muddy. On that note, let's take a look at one of the Army spokespeople here for Pakistan, General Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry, talking about how, hey, India's got to actually provide some proof here. They can't just keep saying things and assume that everyone's going to believe them. Let's give that a listen.
What a shame. What a mockery of journalism. This is what Pakistan has fired. At least have the sense to burn these brown fields if one of our projectile and one of our missiles has gone and hit a field. Karachi is burning. Karachi has been taken over. Go and call Karachi. Find out where it's burning. Pakistan JF-17 Thunders have been taken out. At least show me the debris of one aircraft. At least show me the electronic signature of one aircraft that Pakistan, of one UAV, one drone that Pakistan has fired there. That's why we say, don't worry. You are so fond of Pakistan firing at you, we will fulfill your demand at the time, place and means of our choosing. And I repeat, we don't need this stupid, this shameful media to tell us that they themselves are embarrassed that what they're doing.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yesterday's video, as soon as I put it out, people kind of flooded the comment section saying Karachi is burning, the port is completely destroyed, there's nothing left. And like a lot of people saying that, a lot of reports spreading across the internet. Turns out that was not accurate at all. That's kind of the level of the information space that we're playing in right now. But I do want to shift over to some comments, some official statements being made here through the Indian Ministry of Information by Wing Commander, and my apologies on all of the pronunciations here, Vimoka Singh. Originally talking here how Pakistan fired 300 to 400 drones into Indian airspace. And we've definitely seen what looks like some interceptions and some debris on the ground, but not anywhere near 300 to 400. That would be a lot. If that is the case, we'd expect to see a lot more footage coming out here in the coming days, but let's give that a listen.
On the intervening night of 8th-9th May 2025, Pakistan military carry out multiple violations of Indian airspace along the entire western border with an intent to target military infrastructure. Pakistan military also resorted to firing of heavy caliber weapons along the line of control. Along the international border and line of control, drone intrusions were attempted from Leh to Sir Creek at 36 locations with approximately 300 to 400 drones. Indian Armed Forces brought down a number of these drones using kinetic and non-kinetic means. The possible purpose of these large-scale aerial intrusions were to test the AD systems and gather intelligence. Forensic examination of the drone debris is being undertaken. Preliminary reports suggest them to be of Aziz Guard Songa drone of Turkey.
Now, one notable piece there is they don't really refer to those as loitering munitions or strike drones. So it could be a lot of these smaller quadcopter types maybe being used right along the line of control. You know, when you're talking about the quantity of drones being utilized, especially in the war in Ukraine, it is an outrageous number that are being lost every single day. So if these are ones right along kind of firing points, skirmish lines on the line of control, maybe. But if you're talking about like deep penetrations into Indian airspace, I'd be a little surprised that 300 to 400 made it that far in, and we haven't seen the footage of that. But nonetheless, we do have a couple more statements here from the wing commander talking about how eventually there were armed UAVs that targeted Indian military infrastructure, and in response to that, India went into Pakistan and destroyed an air defense asset. Let's give that a listen.
Later in the night, an armed UAV of Pakistan attempted to target Bhatinda military station, which was detected and neutralized. In response to the Pakistani attack, armed drones were launched at 4 air defense sites in Pakistan. One of the drones was able to destroy an AD radar.
And I should have mentioned in that previous clip, of course, the wing commander talking about one of the reasons they think these drones are being used, and we've talked about in previous videos, is possibly trying to map out air defense locations. And that is still something that we could see happening from both sides. And especially when you're talking about hundreds of drones being utilized, you're probably trying to draw some of those air defense systems out to turn on their radars so you have an idea where they might be located for future strikes. But turning back to the wing commander here, we have what I believe is the first verification of casualties from either side when she talks about some Indian soldiers being lost, but also saying some in Pakistan were killed as well. Here we go.
Pakistan also carried out artillery shelling across the line of control using heavy caliber artillery guns and armed drones at Tangdhar, Uri, Poonch, Mendhar, Rajouri, Akhnur and Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir area, which resulted in some losses and injuries to Indian Army personnel. Pakistan Army also suffered major losses in Indian retaliatory fire.
Now, to add to all of this, Damian Simon over on X put out a note just a few moments ago talking about how there's multiple drone incursions from Pakistan into India, And we've already, over the course of the last couple hours, seen quite a few reports of blackouts and air alert sirens across portions of both Pakistan and India. So again, same as yesterday, doesn't seem like this is dialing back at all. We are still waiting for what Pakistan says is going to be a major response from a lot of their senior officials and spokespeople in the last couple of days. The message that they've put out is they have to do something to make sure that India doesn't think that this was acceptable and they could never do this again. So it doesn't really seem like Pakistan is going the route of tit for tat. My guess at this point is we're probably going to see a bit of a jump up the escalation ladder, and then focus will turn to India and probably the international community asking India to tone it down and just accept things and move on from there. But that's essentially where things sit today. We'll be back tomorrow to see if anything has changed. But that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.